Yeah, in all honesty, I was disappointed in the way we came out and played the first half. I felt like we didn't have the intensity or the excitement that we had the week before. Our punt unit really kept us in the game with a block punt and putting us down there close. At least we finished that drive off, and then Tobias bringing that punt back kept us in the game really in the first half. And I had a little words in my opinion at halftime, and then I left, and the players took over, which is really good to see that they're holding each other accountable and saying the right things in the locker room. And it showed the way we came out and performed the way that I felt like we should have started the game off.
I remember in the press conference after you guys lost to Tarleton, you were down, but how do you think the team's really kind of developed since that point?
I think just at halftime last week really showed a lot of growth with our team. I think I challenged them all week who you're listening to, and when after Tarleton it was a lot of negative things, and then after Central Washington, all of a sudden it's like we're world beaters, and that's the ebbs and flows of the season that go up and down. It's just like a game, and right now we got a little momentum, and we want to ride that through. So I think we've grown from that game. I think we've gotten more mature. I think our players have gotten a lot more ownership on what they're doing. I think they're having more fun. And I said this the other night that I'm having more fun. I've said it before the start of the season. I love this group of guys. I love the way they work. I love the way they go about their business. And, I enjoy being around them. And I haven't been able to say that about other teams in the past like I can about this one. Well, very athletic on the offensive side of the ball. They score a lot of points. They run average over 100 plays a game, so they don't huddle. They just line up and go at you again. They can attack you many ways. They got two receivers, 6'3" and 6'5". The quarterback, they've rotated two quarterbacks. But the guy that started last week, number 10, he's very accurate. 6 has started the majority of the games, but I think they might be settling on 10 right now. And he gets the ball very big up front. And then defensively, they're extremely athletic defensively. Their front seven is, I would say, somewhat comparable to what Tarleton State had in what they do and how they go about getting you. So surely a good challenge for us. We left there last year with a really bitter taste in our mouth by the way things turned out. And I'm excited that we get to go back there and play and see how this team performs there. It's always going to be a one-week mentality because if we don't perform this week, the games aren't going to be as big as they would be if we did perform. So that's basically what I told them. Everything we want is out in front of us. There's a lot of football left to be played. We have to continue to get better. And I think if we continue to get better, regardless of what happens, we can hang our head high, and I think good things will happen.
You got an efficient play from the quarterback spot the last two games. What has Justin done different in the last two games in particular?
I think the biggest thing Justin has done is he has not tried to win the game. He understands that, I don't need him to win the game. I need him to manage the game. And when the throws needed to be made, he made the proper throws. And he actually had 2 that were dropped on him. And so he could have been even more efficient. But he came back to the guys who dropped the passes. And we got confidence in those guys. And, that's the biggest thing. Manage the game and take the plays and don't force anything. And he hadn't done that in the last 2 weeks.
And the other thing is the running game. Obviously, Duke is doing some really special things in the last 2 games. Offensive line, they seem to be getting really comfortable.
Well, I think what the best thing about Duke that complements our offensive line is Duke's a very patient runner. He's going to let blocks be set up, and he's going to find the creases when they do get him there. A lot of movement up front with the way guys are attacking our offensive line, and it might take some time for that offensive line to find the right guy and get off one block and go and take the next level. And Duke does a good job of helping set those blocks up as well. So I'll say the one thing about Duke is he loves to play the game and he finishes runs. He's a hard tackler to get. He's hard for a tackler to get down, and that's what you want to see. A guy who's going to fight for every yard he can get.
Did you know he could go over tacklers in the air
like he did on that long run.
I didn't think he could jump that high. Jumped about as high as he is tall. So I think that was a very impressive aspect. But the best part of that run was the way he finished with. He had 4 tacklers on him and drove them in the end zone. And everybody's going to talk about the leap, but I look at the end result when he was determined to get in the end zone. And to me, and I showed that film this morning and made sure I pointed that out. Everybody was wowing over the leap, but I think it says something to your team when you watch your teammate, his desire and his will to get in the end zone. And I think to me, that's the biggest thing about what he does.
Coach, everybody loves to look at rankings, especially coaches. I know you love rankings. You guys are receiving votes again for the second week row. Does that matter to you?
It doesn't matter to me. All that matters is at the end of the year, if we're in the top 7 in our region, to get a chance to go compete for a national championship. So it's honored that we're playing that well for people to recognize us, and I think it's good for our players. But if we don't continue to play at a high level like we did in the second half, those rankings won't mean anything and won't be there very long.
Have you noticed anything new about, like, just kind of around the community, the way people are acting and stuff, a little bit more upbeat or anything like that?
Yeah, I think there's a little pep in what we're doing, and I don't get out in the community very much unless we're doing some community service, which I like to do. But I will say this: on the way over here, the shuttle driver did ask if I had a recruit in the shuttle, and it was Duke, and everybody started looking around. Hey, that's Duke, and I just looked at him and said, "Yeah, you're just Duke to me," and said, "Don't inflate his ego." And I got a way to humble these guys if they need to be humbled. But yeah, I think it's good for our guys, and our guys should appreciate that if they are being recognized more, and understand that we are a pillar of this community, in my opinion. And with that comes a lot of responsibility as well to make sure that you're representing the football program, the university, and yourself in the right manner.